Hello, everyone. My guest today is Chris Ingham Brooke. He's the founder and CEO of a company called PubOcean, a venture-backed technology company that helps digital publishing become profitable. His mission is to provide publishers with a toolkit to automate and simplify audience development and ad operations, ultimately creating better content and building more sustainable companies. Chris, are you ready to take us to the top?
I am indeed. Thanks very much for having me. All
right, so everyone hates ads because they're fake and they're sensational and everything. Is everyone going to start using you instead?
Well, so advertising is a necessary part of the ecosystem of funding content, right? So we can't get away from using advertising as a mechanism to fund content because there's no viable alternative. So what we have to do is we actually have to think of ads as part of the solution, and how do we actually make ads better, regardless of whether we use our company or somebody else's company.
All right. Tell me about the company. How do you make money, and what's your business model?
Sure. So there are three business lines. As you said, like our mission is to make digital publishing or digital publishing more profitable. So one of the first business lines, and this is really what we started with was Scribble.com, which is a top 100 US website. So what we do is we write really interesting content. We distribute this content across platforms like Facebook. We reach 20 million Americans every single month, creating really interesting content that people want to read. And all of that is an ad-backed business model. So what we did was we took the actual data, the advertising data, and started to see, okay, well, which advertising resonates better with consumers.
How do you create all this content at scale, though? It seems like a lot of work to write individual pieces for individual customers you work with.
Absolutely. So we don't write the content for other customers. We actually write the content for our owned and operated site, Scribble.com. We actually have 6 other websites, New Rabble, Absolute History, Guilty Fix, Maternity Week. So
that's your inventory.
Yeah, so these are our sites that we own and operate. So this is one division of the company. Based off of building our own websites, using the same tools and the same technology, we help other publishers grow their own traffic, their own revenue, and we help them monetize their websites as well. So we have 2 other divisions of the company. One is PubAudience. And
wait, hold on. How do you make money on your 6 websites today?
It's all digital advertising, so banner advertising.
From who?
So from guys like Google, for example, OpenX, Rubicon, and these guys help us monetize our site. They basically, our sites rather, and other websites. They aggregate our inventory as well as a whole bunch of other publisher inventory together, and they make the model of buying and selling ads more effective for media agencies.
Okay, so you make some money each month through there, but not a ton because it's just 20 million impressions, right?
Oh, no. So our business, the publishing side of our business is a 25 million a year business.
How much?
25 million US dollars
a
year on the gross revenue side, and it's a super profitable business also. So, it's 20 million unique visitors every month on Scribble.com. So Scribble is a top 150 US website.
Got it. All together, though, across just your 6 websites, you're doing 25 million bucks a year in gross revenue.
Right.
Okay, and what's net revenue? Do you have to pay a bunch of that out to partners?
Yeah, and then yes is the answer. We distribute some of our content through platforms like Facebook and Outbrain, Taboola, channels like that, and then we've also got significant OpEx. So the net on that is about $3 million a year.
Okay, that's not bad, but ignore your OpEx for a second. So net income, it sounds like is $3 million, but just give me net revenue before OpEx, SG&A, rent, salaries, all that. What are like your cost of revenue?
Oh, okay. So I'm from the UK. I think of that as a gross profit.
Got it.
Yeah, so that would be 5 million, 5.5, something like that. Yeah,
okay.
$5.6 million.
Okay, got it. So a majority of it, almost 20 million, is going to who? The partners you just mentioned?
Yeah. So
okay.
Guys like Facebook. I mean, this is the game for publishing in general. So
it's arbitrage.
I mean, if you think of everything, I mean, every single business model is buying low and selling high, then you can call it arbitrage. I don't really think of it as arbitrage in general because ultimately, look, you can break down an organic model that's completely, sort of Google based, for example, and say, I've got this production cost, it cost me X amount of dollars on the one hand to produce this content. These are my accounting costs, my distribution costs. You can break that down into a per unit price and say, it cost me 10 cents to acquire every visitor. And then, I make 15 cents on the other side. So
yep.
Publishing is all about, on the one hand, if you strip it right down, it's the purchase and sale of audience at, price differentials.
Yep. All right. Second revenue stream.
So second revenue stream is PubAudience. So PubAudience is managing other publishers' ad operations. And what we do is we set up header bidding through our wrapper technology. So this is, if you're not familiar with header bidding, the ad industry used to work in this kind of clumsy waterfall fashion. So what that means, just to recap this, is let's say somebody couldn't sell your inventory. What they would do is they would send you back that user to your ad server. So there's a piece of JavaScript that sits on the page. They don't sell the ad. They send it back to your ad server. And then, you have to pick the next highest paying ad unit. So it's this waterfall setup, ping pong, all the way down to the lowest paying impression. That's hugely inefficient because if you imagine you're artificially saying, okay, these guys pay me the best, these guys don't pay me particularly very well. So basically, header bidding revolutionized that. And what header bidding does is it shows, so you have this wrapper that sits on the page. It shows you all of the bids coming in real time, in under a blink of an eye. And then, based off of which ads pay you, which rates are the highest from the advertisers, the top one wins the actual bid. So let's say you've got 10 bids for your ad, $10, $9, $8, all the way down. The $10 bid wins. That gets sent to the ad server, and then the creative gets served on the page. And so that process has changed the landscape entirely, and it's made it possible to track revenue down to all sorts of segments. So, for example, you can see the value of a bid against anything that you're capturing, on the page.
So, Chris, what is this line of business worth to you annually?
So this actually just started recently on a gross basis. It's a $600,000 a year business. We started this in October.
October 2017.
2017, correct. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, and what's the third revenue stream?
So the third revenue stream, and this is actually a much smaller revenue stream, is our tool called Mission. It's Mission for Publishers. So this is workflow. These are workflow tools to help us with the distribution of content. So if you imagine, basically you're on Facebook, you're a user, right? So how you discover content is not through going to a homepage, right? You're in the middle of this narrative. You're browsing through your homepage. What you want to see is the optimal combination of images and titles. Now, as a publisher, the challenge is how do you actually show the right images and titles to users? And the only answer really is through testing. And that means A/B testing a lot of images and titles. And what we
Chris,
have,
where can people view this Mission thing as you talk about it? What's the URL?
missionforpublishers.com.
Okay, got it. Keep going.
So, basically, if you imagine, you've got to test all of these combinations of images and titles. If you're testing 20 images and you're testing 10 titles, you've already got 200 combinations. And you might have a different combination for a different audience. So very quickly, you're beginning to test thousands or hundreds or thousands of different individual combinations of images and titles of creatives, if you like, to show the right ad to the right audience. And all of that takes a lot to manage.
Why is this only for ads? Why not like the blog post CNN puts in the upper right of their page? The testing there would be valuable too.
Absolutely.
So people use it for that too?
No, it's a different implementation. Do you mean, for example, a blog post on CNN's website itself?
Yeah, like for example, we pump out a ton of content. One of the biggest things that takes the most time is changing out the thumbnails to see which one get the highest click-through rates from the homepage. It's not an ad, it's just organic content. Do you help test that as well?
Yeah, so you mean if you're pasting something onto your Facebook page, being able to A/B test the images and titles there?
No, I mean like getlatka.com. We put tons of content out. We're always changing the headline and changing the image of the same content to see which gets the most eyeballs when people hit getlatka.com homepage, or if they see the dark post on Facebook.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the dark post on Facebook is exactly the use case, right? So if you want to see which image or title to use, you plug that into our tool. We do all the A/B testing, and then you can see which image and title combination to pick. On your website, it's slightly different. I mean, it's something that we haven't done just because you can plug in. Facebook's got available APIs. Obviously, WordPress has got some APIs also. I don't know how the site is built, but what we do is we extract all the images and titles available through WordPress, and those form the actual basis of the images that you want to initially test.
Who does the best job of this kind of A/B testing for just pure content, not ads, but content, in your opinion? Do you know?
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
No, I mean, like there's. I think we do a pretty good job. I suspect guys like Little Things, for example.
Well, you said you don't do it, though. You said you only do it for ads.
Yes, but the way that I see a piece of content is an ad, right? Like, because the funny thing is, like, if you think of, what compels you to click, right? Like, why do you read an article? You read an article because it stands out. Interrupts your journey when you're in the middle of a newsfeed. You're in the middle of this narrative, reading all of your friends' updates or content. When you see something that's interesting, it is a piece of content, but it's also an ad because it's got it costs somebody to produce that piece of content.
So Chris, let me see if I understand this right. You will help me run a bunch of different variations in terms of if I launch a piece of content on my blog as a ad on Facebook. You will not help me change the text and the image if I'm just running variations on my homepage on getlatka.com.
Yeah, correct.
I see.
We have support for that.
Got it. But so you help fill the bucket. You don't help make the water in the bucket like flow smoother.
So the thing is, if you're a publisher, most of your traffic comes from Facebook. So the challenge is, like, how do you actually A/B test images in an effective way? We make it smoother in the sense that we extract all of the available images from your website and help you create, for example, posts for your page or ads, dark posts on Facebook.
What's it cost? How much money does this make for you annually?
Not very. This is a completely new product. And
Pre-revenue?
Yeah, so let's call it zero revenue for now. But we've been using this internally, and this. The other part to mission is that we have unified bid and budget management. So all of the API data from Facebook, for example, or Outbrain or Taboola, these channels, or Yahoo Gemini, feeds into the system, so you can see the campaign spend in real time. And then that's connected with the last piece of this, which is real-time revenue. So you can actually see how much money you're making. So it's almost like a real-time actionable P&L for publishing.
Oh, and so what's it cost to use? When do you open it to customers?
So that's something that we haven't decided yet. So it's not really like a revenue stream yet, but it is definitely a business line, and it's a core part of our suite of tools. But at the moment, we're really helping other publishers become more profitable through PubOcean.
Okay, nobody knows this, but I manage websites that do about 40 million unique visits a month. I'd love to figure out a way to test this.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah,
what websites?
I can't tell you that.
Okay, all right.
I'll tell you in private, because nobody knows that I do this, but I do it. It's a huge reason the podcast is successful, amongst many other things. But I would love to test this.
Okay,
but you're not allowed to charge me a lot.
All right, sounds good.
Deal? Okay, good. So why deal with these second two revenue streams when the first one makes up 3 million and these make up less than, 600 grand?
So, I mean, we built this like really nice, like vertically integrated publishing business, but publishing is one of those industries that's completely in disarray. I mean, for me to like scale the publishing side to, let's say, $100 million, 150, $200 million, it's possible, right? But there's also this like really nice horizontal like platform opportunity to help other publishers. And there's probably more enterprise value in building a platform than there is actually just building this vertically integrated business. And so my philosophy is I want to build a massive business and I want to help lots of people along the way. And it seems like, basically eating our own dog food, using our own products on our own websites has been a great way to build really, really fantastic products. And to help other publishers, it's just really appealing and it's something I want to do every day.
How much have you raised?
We only raised 1.1 million.
Okay, so that's great. And how long ago was that?
2014.
24. So are you raising capital right now?
Nope.
Profitable?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good news. What's the site again? It's Scribble, SCRIBBLE?
No, it's actually SCRIBOL.com.
BOL. Who the hell knows how to spell that?
I know.
Scribble.
That's not how most people arrive to the website. They get to it from Facebook or
Fascinating. And you built this from scratch.
Yeah. Yeah. So originally Scribble had a completely different business model, but we had a fantastic editorial team, and it's become even stronger.
How many people are on your editorial team?
So the editorial team is a team of 10 full-time people, and then we have about 60 freelance writers and editors.
Fascinating. And what system do you use to pump this content out? Your own?
So we just use WordPress to create the content, and then we use our own tools to then distribute it.
Got it. But no one just goes to scribble.com. Like this first one, a homeless family were sleeping behind Walmart, then the cops arrived and the mom feared the worst. Like this goes out on Facebook and other places. That's where you're pulling traffic in from.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like the direct traffic, whilst there's not much from a percentage standpoint, I mean, it is, it's at least several 100,000, if not, in the millions of, I don't know what the exact figures are, but it's, it's a large amount. If you look at it purely from the visitor perspective, but if you look at it from a percentage perspective, not so much.
Interesting. Would you sell the company?
Look, I mean, we're not in the market for selling the company. We're just enjoying kind of building this for now. But
how old are you though?
30.
30. Okay. And how do you have co-founders?
No.
Okay, so you probably own, I don't know how much you sold for the 1.1, but you own north of 60%, right?
Yeah.
So, if you're doing 5 gross, right, and someone offers you 2x that, call it 10, and you're getting, a $7 million check, that's, I would say, a meaningful event for you, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it is, but, there's so much potential. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like the industry is so big, the problems are so like painful that, I feel like if you can solve those problems, you can make a lot more money. And, beyond a certain point, it's like, it's not really about money. It's about like, how big, can this thing go?
I don't believe you for 2 seconds. I'm a capitalist. I like get the sure thing, take the 10 million, launch it into your next thing. I mean, why not just sell the 6 websites and then pour all that into Mission?
So, I mean, like we've contemplated ideas like that, and the reality is like it's a lot of work to, for example, like raise money and like sell a company. Like it takes work. Right?
I'll sell it for you, but I get 3%. Only if it goes through. Does that work? I'll get you a great deal.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that.
Okay, well, listen, I want to end this interview because I want to show you where I'm getting these 40 million uniques from. And so my audience, sorry guys, I'm going to abruptly end this because I want more time with Chris. So Chris, we're going to wrap up with the famous 5. You ready? Okay. Are you ready? Okay, these are quick. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Principles, Ray Dalio.
Yeah, that's a great one. Number 2, the black one, right? Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Not right now, but I've studied a few.
Okay. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for growing the business besides your own?
Google Analytics.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
8.5.
That's good. Ed. That's good. And what's your situation?
I have a son as well, so.
You what?
And I have a 7-month-old son as well, so.
Oh my gosh. So married and one kid.
Not married, but one kid.
Okay.
Yes.
Single, one kiddo.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. You're 30 today. Take us back to your 20-year-old self. What do you wish he knew?
Systematic thinking. I think that, it can be a real challenge building a business, and you have to approach things in really quite a systematic way. Like a company is about like the sum of the actions and the decisions that you make. That's all a company is. And so if you approach it from that perspective, and you approach those decisions and those actions in a systematic way, that yields much, much bigger results. So I think, when you're 20, you're like, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was literally like every single day in Google going, how do I generate traffic?
When did you launch, Chris?
So I launched my first business when I was 19.
No, this one.
Oh, this one here. So PubOcean has technically been live since the summertime. So this is the newest incarnation. Scribble itself, the actual website, has been around since 2010.
Okay, 2010. So about 7 years ago. So you launched really when you were about 23 years old. Started working on this.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, there you have it from Chris. Again, launched back in 2010, built 6 websites, loads of traffic, 20 million uniques, figured out how to monetize that, decided he wanted to get into publisher audience management systems and helping them with their ad operations via header bidding through their wrapper tech. That does about 600 grand right now in terms of run rate. Launched just back in October 2017. Now has launched Mission for publishers, basically workflow tools. It is pre-revenue, but currently serves a really high utility value to his core business. Maybe it scales in the future, but his core business, again, with those 6 websites, doing 25 million top line annually, gross 5.5, net 3, sole founder, 1.1 raise. Chris, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much.